All right, you should be done filling out your scavenger Frayer model and then submitting it in the comments on the last slide. And now I'll go through mine so that you can see how you did. All right, so the word scavenger should be written in the middle. We know that. And then for the definition, that was number 2. The definition is an animal that eats dead animals or plants that it finds. All right. And then for characteristics, that was number 3, which is not too big, keeps places clean, but by eating waste, usually does not hunt. Now, all right. And then for examples, we have hagfish, which is what we just read about. We know that they're a scavenger. Vultures, type big bird. Rats, raccoons, crows, and even flies. And then for the non-examples, we have lion, shark, hawks, eagles, tigers, snakes. All right, so that's number 2 should have been in definition, number 3 in characteristics, number 1 in examples, number 4 in non-examples. All right, now we're going to move on to our next word. All right, so you're going to grab your other blank Frayer model and get it ready. And then once you have that ready, we're going to write our word in the middle, which is our next word is predator. And then, so here, again, we're going to do it a little bit different. I'm going to have you do it a little bit more on your own again. And then, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the definition so you know what the word is. And then I'm going to have you fill in their characteristics, the examples, and the non-examples all on your own and come up with them. But if you can't and you're having a lot of trouble, on the next slide, I'm going to give you one characteristic, one example, and one non-example to help you along. So one hint. And then what I need you to do is just give me at least one more example, non-example, or characteristic. So you can't just write what I have on the next slide. So the definition for predator that I have is an animal that hunts and eats other animals. All right, so now you're going to pause the video, and then you're going to see if you can think of some characteristics of what a predator looks like, what things they have, and then examples of predators. So what are predators? What if we already know it's an animal that hunts, so what kind of animals maybe? And then what are examples? What are non-examples? So what isn't a predator? Maybe some animals that aren't predators. And then when you're finished, like before, I'm going to have you either record yourself reading it out loud, take a picture, or type out your answers and then submit them in the comments on this slide. And if you get stuck, then you can go on to the next slide, and then we're going to have some hints on there. And then if you need to use that, that is perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. And then you can just comment your answers on that slide. So if you go to the next slide and use the examples, then comment on that slide. If you don't go ahead, then just post them on this one, and then you will see on the next slide either way. All right, so good luck. You'll do great.